Reverend Sir Arlene Freed of the Corellian News Service, coming to you from the Parliament of World's Religions. And I'm with today Byron Ballard.
Hi, everybody.
And you are known as the Village Witch of Asheville, North Carolina, an author and a mother, what was that?
I serve as the senior priestess at Mother Grove Goddess Temple, where I'm also one of the founders.
Wow, that's, so many things. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a multi-generational Appalachian woman. My family's been there for hundreds of years, literally. So that is one of the core foundations of who I am. I'm also a goddess worshiper. So Mother Grove Goddess Temple is all divine female, all divine feminine, all goddess, no other kinds of divinity. But we are multicultural in the sense that if you come to us and you love the Blessed Virgin Mary, but you don't want to be Catholic anymore, you can come and worship her with us. And that goes across the board for all female divinities. So there's that. I'm a gardener. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a community advocate. I'm a pagan advocate. I do a lot of writing in a lot of places. I do a lot of ritual in a lot of places, and I do the festival circuit. I travel around a lot.
Thank you. So, being that we're at the Parliament of World's Religions, what has your experience been like?
It's been exhausting. How about yours?
The same.
We've done a lot of walking and a lot of very hard surfaces. We've listened to some amazing things, and I am a little bit of a policy wonk. So I've gone to a lot of public policy forums and I've been figuring out how it is we're going to interface as a set of pagan heathen communities with the larger community, because we are seeing now laws coming into effect that are going to affect us quite directly. The First Amendment seems to be something that people just skip over on their way to the Second Amendment. And so that notion, which is not constitutional, of a separation of church and state is rapidly dwindling. So I'm very passionate about that. That's been very good. This morning I attended a session about the religious response. I gesture like this because it was in that room. The religious response and spiritual response to the Dobbs decision last year about Roe. So all that public policy stuff is very important to me. The religious right got a huge head start on us while we were still trying to figure out, were we pagan, were we heathen, were we earth religionists? While we were still deciding all that stuff in the 80s and the 90s, the religious right was taking over governmental offices. So I want to get us caught up. I want to get us talking about how it is we stop our intra-faith warring and we come together as a united front to get things done for the good of the entire community.
Thank you. So I understand that you have a new book coming out.
I do. And my publisher, Llewellyn, will be very happy for me to talk to you for a moment about that. I'm in a weird place, which a lot of time authors get into. Right now, in 3 weeks, thereabouts, in September, my brand new book from Llewellyn comes out, Small Magics. And on September 1, my new manuscript goes to my editor at Llewellyn, and that is called Feral Church. So I have the new book and the new book. So the new book is the one that's coming out in a few weeks, called Small Magics. And that got started, weirdly enough. There was a fight on the internet about magical practice. And I interjected myself into the middle of it in a comment by saying, do I need to write a book based on my class, Simple Practical Magic? Like 10 minutes later, my editor sent me a private message and said, you do. So we worked together and got that done. I've been doing this class for 7 or 8 years because I realized there's a lack of training in the pagan communities. And plus, right now, a lot of people love to throw around the word witch. Oh, I'm a witch. Oh, I'm a witch. Well, here is how you are a witch if you practice witchcraft. And if you don't practice witchcraft, you're not a witch. Full stop. That's all there is to it. So what happens to us is that we go, oh, okay, so I'm a witch. And you can self-dedicate. I don't have a problem with that. You could be in a tradition. I don't have a problem with that. All of that's lovely, however you get your training. But people aren't getting training. And so they pick up the big book of spells and they wonder why their magic doesn't work. Because it's not about those words. It's about all the other things we have to learn to do. Grounding, shielding, harvesting energy, setting intention. And those building blocks are so important. New people don't often know them. And sometimes those of us who are older practitioners have been doing it forever, we need to get back to beginner's mind and go, what was that thing I left out of there? Oh, yeah, grounding. Yeah, let me get myself grounded good and deep and then go on to do the work. So that's what the book's about. It's just building blocks of magical practice. Simple.
So it's not just intention, it's the work of doing all the magic and connecting to Mother Earth and things like that.
Absolutely. And it's not using your personal life force to do that kind of energetic magical work. Because we see people in our community all the time that are falling to bits physically because they're using their internal spiritual essence to do this work. There's energy all around us that we can harvest, hold into our center, and then send forth. And that's what the book's about. It's about not just practical magic, but effective magic. And no, you shouldn't begin your magical practice by, oh, well, the first thing I'm going to do is summon a demon. You should do something you need. So if you live in a place like I do, I live in a huge tourist town. If you live in a place where you need parking, perfect a parking spell because it's practical. You need that. We did that last night and got a parking space directly in front of that Chinese restaurant. In the front, because there were like 5 witches in the car going and doing the parking spell. So it's something practical. I am intensely practical about everything I do.
Would you be interested in teaching about that during our interview?
Oh, well, the parking spell's easy. I mean, the first thing you always do is ground. You connect deeply. And then what I do is, and I'm going to turn to the camera, so I ground myself deeply. I put my hands on the wheel in my car and I say to myself, or sometimes I say out loud, I'm going to the library and I need a place to park. And that's all I do. And then I drive up there and then there is a place to park. I've gotten parking in Manhattan, Washington, D.C., Raleigh, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia. It has only failed me in all the years I've been doing that particular spell. It had failed me once, and then I got parking half block away.
So let me ask you a question. When you put your hands on the wheel, is that before or after you turn the car on?
Oh, no, it's after I turn the car on. Because I turn the car on, I ground, I put my hands on the wheel.
Thank you. That's an important step.
I think you could do it either way.
Yeah. So what about, you mentioned, recently you became an honorary Correllian. Can you talk about that?
Oh, yesterday, Ed texted me and said, can you meet us at? And so I met a group of people down at the Correllian booth and met who's the lady who does the beautiful stoles?
Andrea, I think her name is.
So I was talking to her and Ed had said, this is the lady that makes our stoles. And we were like having a chat. And I noticed that everybody's lining up over there and that Dawn has come to stand over here. And I'm like, what's going on? So then Dawn, I think it was Dawn, said, we would like to honor you and to thank you. And they made me, your community made me an honorary 3rd degree Correllian. And I bawled like a little baby, because it's a great honor, and I feel lucky to be part of your community. I feel very fortunate and blessed because it's a wonderful community.
Yes, and yeah, family just like us, So it's a beautiful lavender stole, correct?
Yes, it is. And I didn't bring it out today. I wore it most of the day yesterday, but I didn't want to get it dirty. I didn't know when I would eat lunch or any of that stuff, so I didn't want to get it dirty.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that, Byron. And thank you so much for coming out today and taking the time out of your very busy schedule. And this has been Reverend Sir Arlene Freed of the Correllian News Service, coming to you from the Parliament of World Religions. Thank you so much for tuning in.